Joining me now, Jordan McGinnis, goaltender, the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy. Do you want to call yourself the U17 team yet or not quite?
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Hey, Jordan, whereabouts are you right now? Are you in the PAW or are you in Alberta?
We're in Alberta.
You're in Alberta. So whereabouts in Alberta?
Airdrie.
So that's close to Calgary if my geography puts me in the right place?
Yeah.
Right on. So when quickly did you get home? How quickly did you leave Pilot-Mound? And last but not least, what did you leave back home in Pilot-Mound that you missed the most?
We left probably a week after school ended, and then I left most of my stuff in Pilot-Mound because we weren't sure if we were coming back or not yet. So I just kind of left everything. But probably the things that I missed the most, I left in Pilot-Mound, have to be probably some of my clothes. Honestly, didn't bring it all home, but.
We're not like you have to dress to impress because you can't really go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Right on. So this year, would you be considered the veteran of the goaltending group, would you not?
Well, yeah, I was a veteran, yeah.
I mean, last year you played a little bit. This year there was a three-headed monster between the pipes. Tell me how that worked for you as a goaltender and your schedule, knowing you were playing potentially one out of 3 games.
Yeah, it's exactly like you said. You play one of every 3 games, and sometimes it's not bad, but sometimes you get really eager to play, which is pretty much every game. But you just kind of have to get used to not knowing that you can't play every game.
So when you go into that mindset, thinking that you're on a bit of a hot streak, if you're going 5 in a row, but you're playing one every 30 games, that's like over a 15-game span or something like that.
Yeah, it's tough, but you don't really have a choice, so you just have to do it.
Go with the flow, eh? So roughly about 25 games played between each goaltender.
Yeah.
Lots of action throughout the year because not only are you playing in one league, you're playing in 3 prep league programs, correct?
2.
2, and then the exhibitions, I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, which league did you prefer most?
I like going to the States to play in the Napa League the most. Just the atmosphere there is cool, like traveling to Minnesota and everything, and playing new teams is always fun.
What was your favorite team to play against in the Napa?
My favorite team to play against had to be the Pacific Ridge Hockey Academy. They were a really good team and they were structured nice, but when I played against them, we got the opportunity to beat them.
Right on. What was the when you travel? I got to ask this question because the opportunities that you teenagers get, a lot of you don't understand it really unless you're actually in it, right? Like you get to go to BC, you get to go to Alberta, you get to go to Minnesota. You're playing, got huge traditions and great players all over. Where's your favorite place to play outside of Pilot-Mound, the hometown?
Favorite place to play probably would be Calgary, just because I have family members that come, or same with in Saskatchewan, we have family members that come to watch too. So it's nice to have them there, to have them support you.
Absolutely. Do you play different when family's watching, or do you prefer the stands to be all people you don't know?
No, you gotta play the same no matter who's watching.
Now, how do you keep your mindset straight then? Because I know when I used to play and I knew Dad was in the stands, it was a whole lot different.
You just have to go out there and play your game and know that you're playing for yourself, not for anyone else.
Very cool. And you got to play for your team.
Other than the team, yeah.
Yeah, your team was very well structured at the beginning of the year. Coach Rick, a younger team. Yeah. And a lot of the guys have the potential to be there next year, whenever next year begins. Jordan, when did you start noticing that this team was coming together in the right way and you were working on something special?
Pretty much all year we had come together. Like we had no problems with anybody throughout the group, and we were all pretty tight knit. And we on the ice we got the job done when we had to.
Absolutely. You had a really strong schedule. You had winning records on every team in the CSSHL. The last weekend in Saskatchewan proved to be a little bit difficult for the team. I've asked a couple of players this question. I'm going to ask you the same one, Jordan. Knowing that you were coming out of that last weekend, I think it was against Prairie, and you were lost 3 in a row, what did you know had to get done to flip the switch?
We just had to get a couple wins under our belt when we got there. And then as soon as we did that, then we came together and we knew that we could beat anybody.
Absolutely. So what was it about your team play in the CSSHL? Try not to say that so many times because it's really a tongue twister. But when you start playing those teams, why do you know that you're that much of a better team?
I don't know. It's just the winning feeling, I guess, when you all come together and you win big games. It's a lot more fun when you win than when you lose. So everybody obviously wants to do that.
Sure. Working with No Way Jose and Channer, how do you help your goaltending crew keep up and up after having a bad game? Or how do you help the other goaltenders analyze during the game? Or how does that relationship work with the other 2 netminders?
Usually you just kind of have to support them, and just like they support me. And during the game, we just kind of let each other do our thing for the most part.
Before we get to BC, there was a couple of awards given out, Jordan. You received one of those. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did that? Would you have rather have received that before or after championship weekend? Now that you look back at it.
It doesn't necessarily matter, just because you're there for the league championship, not personal awards.
And that league championship was certainly on display. That first game was a little bit weird, a little bit awkward, having lost it. But then having the team win the remaining of those championship games, what was that feeling like for you as a netminder?
It was a pretty good feeling. That's your whole goal throughout the year. So when you get it done, it's a very good feeling, I guess.
So you were able to play how many games during the championship weekend?
Only one.
Just the first one, okay?
Yeah.
Now, being that person on the bench supporting that team, let's go to that championship game, and knowing that you're up 2-1, seconds are finishing up. Do you remember those feelings, who you hugged first and where your stick was thrown, or whereabouts you threw your helmet after the clock struck 0 and you guys won 2-1?
No, I don't really remember it too much, but you just kind of go, skate hard, cheer with the team, and jump on the pile.
So were you in the middle of the pile, the beginning of the pile, the end of the pile?
I was at the end of the pile.
Smart move, right? There's some big guys. I mean, nothing like Brett or Bear jumping on you and realizing, okay, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Big guys. So you got the championship. The bus ride home was pretty cool, pretty relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember anything? What did you guys do on the way home? I mean, it's a long trip home. Was there reminiscing? Was there just the fact, a sigh of relief that everything was finished, completed, a job well done?
Just sigh of relief, and people were singing the "We're the Champions" for a bit there, and yeah, just tired for most of the guys, I think, after the long weekend.
Considering that you probably have, for lack of my math isn't great, but you probably have 12 or 13 hockey weekends throughout the season, NAPL and CSSHL. How grueling and tiring are those weekends, and knowing that you came out on top on the last and final one that mattered?
It feels pretty good, but for us goalies specifically, usually it depends which games you play to see if you're tired or not, because you get a lot of rest in between, and when you play 1 every 3 games.
So that probably benefits you as a team, knowing you have a backstop that's fairly well rested throughout those weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, works out okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which goaltender? I'm going to ask this question now before we go to break. When you were growing up, Jordan, actually all 3 of you goaltenders are not big guys. You're short. You grew a little bit over the off season. How is it that you're able to work with your size and your benefits on the ice and look that big in net?
Well, you don't really think about your size when you're out playing, but you just have to challenge more. And yeah, there's not a big difference for me. I wouldn't know what it's like to be a huge goalie. So,
well, you've definitely rose to the occasion. You filled in some great skates. You filled up the net very well. throughout the entire year and leading that goaltending crew to a championship. We're going to take a quick break with Jordan McGinnis here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what life is like with the classroom now at home, and we'll dig a little deeper inside who Jordan McGinnis is. Just hang on. We'll be right back. Jordan McGinnis, goaltender of the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy. Jordan, back home now, a little bit different than being at school. Are you more of a, are you enjoying the fact that you're by yourself learning, or would you rather be in the social setting with the rest of the crew down in Pilot-Mound, socializing, all that stuff?
I like being at school more because then it's easier to ask questions and it's easier to get help from teachers, and yeah, you get lessons on things, not just assignments.
So is it easy to keep in touch with the teachers? Are they able to give you a little bit of help outside now that you guys are back home in Alberta?
Yeah, it's fairly easy to keep in touch with everybody.
Right on. So what's your favorite class to learn now that you don't have all that help?
Favorite class to learn probably still would be history.
Are you a history buff?
Yeah, I guess so.
So you're good with dates, you're good with people and stuff like that. So can I give you a skill testing question?
Sure.
I'm kidding, I won't do that. I enjoy history as well. I always try and teach Americans about the War of 1812 and what it meant, and they don't understand that it's not in their textbook. We'll leave that one alone. What do you miss most about not being around the guys in that locker room?
Probably what I miss most is like being with everyone on the ice and being competitive.
You guys would still have ice and still be doing a little bit of training, a little bit of off-season training. Who's the tougher of the coaches when it comes to putting the drills together? Is it Rick or is it Ernie or Jordy?
Well, they're both tough. Ernie usually runs more the system style of drills, and Rick usually runs every other drill.
Right. And how much do you work with Gordy on these? Does Gordy come on the ice with you guys for the most part? Is he more of the eyes in the stands, so to speak?
He comes once a week, usually on Mondays.
Okay. So what has he? I mean, he's old school. He's Jets 1.0, as he'll always tell you.
Yeah.
What is it about Gordy that gives you a bit of a focus or has helped you the most in your couple years with the Hockey Academy?
With Gordy, he believes in me and he sees something in me, and he's always there to work for you. Like, if you had a bad game, he's there to kind of like pick you up and say, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this better. But you can also look at it as there was some things you did good in these games.
Absolutely. Going back into the classroom, knowing that you've got this bit of time, tell me what's your normal day like now, Jordan, instead of being in the classroom, but now being at home and working with, a computer, but having family around instead of having teachers and classmates in the dorm.
Well, usually you wake up, you finish your homework in the morning, and then have some lunch or breakfast, depending on how long it takes you, and then maybe go for a run, and then just kind of do whatever the rest of the day.
Okay, so it's pretty relaxed schedule. Have you been doing? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Have you been training or keeping your off-season workouts the way you're supposed to?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. Okay, good. Simple answer. Okay. What is it about your off-season workout you enjoy most?
Probably just like when you go for like runs around town, like it's just kind of like paths, and it's like refreshing to get fresh air and get out of the house.
Especially in a time like today, or these days when you get stuck and you're supposed to keep isolated.
Yeah.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we do.
Dogs, cats, birds, others?
Dogs, birds, others, horses.
Brothers. You put brothers in there. Okay. Older and a younger brother. Horses too.
Yeah.
Do you ride horses?
I don't ride as much as my little brother does. He's more the big horse guy.
That's cool. Okay, so a little bit of acreage. What is it about? Who's your favorite pet? Can you tell me who your favorite is?
Probably my dog.
Dog? What kind of dog?
It's just a little dog. I don't remember what kind it is.
Just a little one?
A mix
Ankle
of.
biter?
Sorry?
A little ankle biter?
No, she's good. She's very relaxed.
Keeps you relaxed, keeps you down to earth kind of thing?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Let's get a little more inside Jordan off the ice. Jordan, interesting wall artwork there behind you. Is that a?
That's a moose, yeah.
Is that something have you gone hunting? Is that something you enjoy the wildlife?
Yeah, we are big hunters, yeah.
Big hunters. So is in the off season, are you able to hunt with your family?
I haven't past couple years because I lived away from home, but I miss it.
You miss it?
Yeah.
Which have you when it comes to hunting, do you hunt for picture? Do you hunt for food? What's the best part about hunting?
Hunt for meat, and it's just kind of a tradition that our family does.
The traditions are very important, absolutely. Speaking of traditions, have you always been a goaltender?
Yeah.
Have you always worn the same number?
I have not. I changed number last year. My whole life I had to wear the number 1, and I hated it every year. But then I got to Pilot-Mound, and they're like, pick any number. And I was like, well, okay. And I was like, well, I'll go with 29. That's a cool number. But then this year I thought I'd change it up to 22, try and get some better luck on our side. And it worked. So probably stick with that one.
Stick with that one for next year?
Yeah.
Is that like a favorite number as opposed to like a favorite goaltender? I don't know any many goaltenders that wear that number.
Yeah, it's favorite goaltender number.
Okay. When growing up, who was your favorite goalie?
Ryan Miller was my favorite goalie growing up. He's kind of old and retired, almost about to retire now. But
Yeah, he had some very special years in Buffalo, did he not?
yeah.
Very good goaltender. Does your brothers play hockey as well? I mean, your younger brother says you ride. Do your other brothers play hockey?
Older brother still does.
Still does? Okay. When it came to playing in the streets, were you always the one strapped on the pads, or did you go back and forth?
Back and forth.
Okay. Who was the better shooter?
Me.
You. That. Who was the better goaltender?
Me.
Okay. All right. Did you ever scream out a name after scoring a goal, or try to like relive a glory day of some sort?
No.
No, you didn't have a favorite shooter growing up?
No, not really. Just favorite goalie.
Just favorite goalie, okay. Speaking of favorites, let's switch the topic a little bit. Who cooks better, mom or dad? Or dorm?
Probably between mom and dad is probably my dad usually cooks like deer, he cooks steaks or chicken, but my mom is probably a better cook.
So dad's the more protein guy, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's today's whatever day it is. It's your day to do dinner. What are you making for dinner? Where's your go-to?
Probably make a barbecue chicken breast.
Okay. You be able to cook that for the entire family on just one chicken breast? You have to pull out a couple more.
Probably had to put out a lot more.
I figured that right on. Favorite vegetable? Every parent, every player tells me they always eat pasta, chicken, not so much rice. But if you didn't have to eat a game time meal, what would be your favorite meal to make?
Favorite meal to make?
Yeah.
Probably fettuccine alfredo.
But that's a pasta. Then you can have that for games all the time.
Oh, not game day meal.
Not game day. Go outside the box.
Oh, well, then probably deer steak, yeah.
Deer steak. Okay. Tell me how, because I have a hard time cooking. Because when it comes to cooking wild moose or deer and venison, how is it that you keep it so tender? Is there a clue on this one? Give me an inside tip.
I'm not sure how my dad cooks it, but he cooks it good, so.
He cooks it well. We're going to have to get him on the show next time, Jordan, so he can give us a little bit of cooking tips, because every time I try to cook it, it turns into a hockey puck. I got to work on that.
All right.
So about tenderizing a meat. Now, let's switch to music. You guys talked about music. We are the champions. You probably know those words inside and out. what music do you listen to before a game, and what music do you listen to just on your own, or is it the same?
Before a game, I usually listen to more like rock, like pump up music, but just on my own time, I listen to like old country, like George Jones, Merle Haggard, Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah, right on. Okay, a little family tradition.
Yeah.
There you go. Right on. Very cool. One more question about music. I'm going to ask you, what is it about music and pump up music? Is it like, for some people, they enjoy symphony stuff. Some people enjoy that hard rock before a game. What is it about that style of music that makes your team just go?
I don't know more what the team listens to. I don't like music that more the team listens to, but it just kind of helps you focus before games, I guess, and it helps put you like in the zone, like when you're warming up, when you're doing your off-ice warm-up and everything. It keeps you from getting distracted.
Okay. Who chose the music in the locker room?
That was Brett.
So Brett was the music man, DJ Brett. I'm going to ask another question. Who was the loudest in the locker room?
Loudest in the locker room.
Who likes to talk? Who had a hard time? Who did Coach Rick have a hard time saying, okay, that's enough, be quiet?
Well, I don't really know that. We didn't have too many problems, but I was just kind of like on my own in the corner before game.
Just getting focused, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Last year we talked about NHL 19 being a game and being a tournament that was being played by many players. If you had to face somebody in NHL 20, who would you not want to play against?
Well, I don't play NHL, but I don't know who play. I think Colby plays a lot, so probably not him.
Colby's probably the man. Okay. I got to ask this question because you're a goaltender. Goaltenders have a weird mindset. Are you guys really that different?
I mean, all the players call us weird, but I think the players are weird, so.
That's a great answer, Jordan. Thank you. If you had to, when you talk about your other goaltenders, what did you guys discuss that wasn't really hockey related?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. We pretty much talked hockey or pretty much goalie stuff when we talked.
Okay. What do you miss most about not playing right now?
Probably most is just being competitive and just goalie itself. It's just what I love and it's fun.
Okay. Do you miss? Obviously, you miss NHL watching it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So in playoffs, when you saw the teams, you were a Calgary fan or an Edmonton fan or a team outside of Alberta?
I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan.
Ryan Miller, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So were you upset when the Sedins finally retired, and do you think they have a pretty good prospect group growing up?
I think that, I mean, I was obviously like, you don't want to see guys like that go, but it was just kind of their old time for new guys. But I think that they have great young players out there.
They definitely do. Absolutely. I think you think they need to work on their goaltending? You think Markstrom's the guy?
I think Markstrom is the guy for now, yeah.
For now? Okay.
Yeah.
He's no Ryan Miller, though.
Well, he might be a little better than Miller was when Miller came to the Canucks, but.
Okay. When you we talked about traveling with the team and places you've been. Where would you like to go on a family vacation?
Family vacation? I just like going to my cabin and being absorbed, like go fishing and go ride around in the bush and everything. That's just what I like to do for a vacation.
Okay. So that would be your vacation spot. So somewhere in the wilderness.
Yeah.
No Hawaii, no Bali, no beachfront, nothing. You're good with just campfires and RVs. How far is the cabin from home?
Cabin, yeah.
How far is the cabin from home?
8 hours.
Okay, so it's a bit of a distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't use as much as our grandparents do, but.
Okay, cool. Again, another family tradition thing, which is really important.
Yeah.
For sure. If you had to tell your teammates that are watching, what would you like to tell them that you haven't said to them already in the last little bit?
I don't know, just that I miss them and miss being around them, and it's a good atmosphere.
If you had to say the same thing to the Pilot-Mound family, what would you tell them?
Like tell all the staff and everything?
Yeah, the teachers, the staff, the ones you see just like on a screen, and that's it. I mean, you don't get to see them in the hallways no more. You may not have a chance to see them this year. What would you like to say to them?
I'd probably just say that I look forward to seeing them again next year.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, I want to thank you very much for this time. Thank you for doing this. I know you have a busy studying day ahead of you. Hopefully the weather holds up. You're able to enjoy some of that and eventually start getting to the outdoors with your family, which I think is a very important thing. Congratulations on the championship. Congratulations on your personal awards. And we look forward to seeing you on the ice next year, Jordan. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Right on. This has been Jordan McGinnis here on ASTV with the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy Network, the next year U17 squad. Again, thank you for joining me, Jordan.